What is up? What is up? What is up? If you're here, let me know by sending me, well, not sending me, leaving a message down in the comments about where you're coming from and what you're wearing, if anything. And if you're here watching the replay, sorry you couldn't make it live, but glad you're here. Make sure you stay tuned for some fun stuff. I don't know what it's going to be yet exactly, but it will be fun because it always is. But first of all, I see we've got some folks hanging out in the comments already. Karen is here. Thank you so much. What does Grace think of commodity orchid milk? I haven't even opened it yet. So she doesn't know what it smells like yet. I've had this PR package for several weeks. And yeah, I'll get to why I haven't opened it yet. I have my reasoning behind that. So we'll be finding out soon together what that smells like, and eventually I'll get Grace's thoughts. Maybe it's something she wants to wear from what I hear about it. Mason is here wearing Chris Collins' Long Kiss Goodnight. I haven't tried that one. As you guys know, I'm a fan of Chris Collins. I haven't tried all their fragrances, but the ones I have tried are fantastic. Byron is here from St. Louis. Appreciate you being here. Burning Barbershop. Believe it or not, I still have tried nothing from DS and Durga. So shame on me. Let's see. NBRS. What's up? How's it going? Center of the night. Le Participe. Pass. From Serge Luton. I don't know that one. That sounds like a deep cut. I assume it's nice. Lawrence T. Good to see you. What's up? What is my all-time favorite fragrance? Kevin, I can't choose one. Can you choose one? Maybe you can. I struggle choosing just one. It's like saying, what is one t-shirt you would like to wear for the rest of your life? Can't just choose one. I can choose several, but not just one. But thanks for asking. Cam, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Initio Lift Me Up. Is that the new one? I heard they released something new. I don't remember if that's what it was called. Let me know. Ready for hot takes and honest thoughts. Yes, they're coming. I don't know what they are exactly yet. I have ideas. I'll try my best to put them into words. Kenny, good to see you. Chris Walker from Houston, good to see you. Aqua de Joe EDT. Absolute classic. Going with the timeless one. Fantastic. Aqua de Joe was one of my early signature fragrances I had as a gift probably more than 10 years ago. It was gifted to me, as I said, by someone I was dating at the time. And we went on a vacation, and the first day I took the bottle out of the bag and dropped it, and it shattered. And I got in trouble. She was not happy about that. And I honestly never really liked it, so I wasn't really that upset. Anyway, that's the past. Jeffrey Signature Citrine. Great one from Zaharoff. That one's great for the heat, for like the high heat. That one just sings off the skin. Don Lee Sospiro Deep Ocean Amber. Haven't tried that one. Popular Fecal Last 3 days. Kevin, I don't blame you. That one is pretty dang good, I just have to say. Pretty dang good. Kerosene followed. I've smelled a decant years ago. I think right when it came out, a decant was sent to me by a friend. If I remember, that's like a coffee fragrance. I want to look that up real quick. I think I remember that being a very like authentic. Am I thinking of? Yeah, authentic coffee, like coffee, caramel, chocolate, vanilla. I remember liking it, but I'm not a huge gourmand fan, so I love the scent of it, but not necessarily something I like to wear. That's just me, though. But it was good from what I remember. Make it make sense with bottles and beer. Good to see you wearing Club de Nuit Intense, man. Classic in its own way. That is a classic. That was actually my introduction to Creed Aventus. I smelled that before I smelled Aventus. So I do have some good memories with that fragrance in particular, even though it is a dupe. Dutch, the Bible Thumper, 68 and a half. Bro, I don't know why you decided after the 68th spray to be like, you know what? A half spray will do, but I'm glad it's working out for you. That's a great scent, by the way, from Joe Malone. One of the few I think I would get if I had any from the house. I don't have any, but that's a great one. 2 new releases from Nisha. Lift Me Up is an Neiman Marcus exclusive. Addictive Vanilla White Floral kind of reminds me of sweet oat milk. I like oat milk. I like it when it's sweet. Not necessarily something I want to smell like, but it sounds really pleasant. That's awesome. What's up? Good to see you. Yep. Everyone, again, if you're new, if you're just jumping in, go ahead and chime in the comments. Would love to see who you are, where you're coming from, and if you're smelling like your favorite fragrance. I want to know what it is. We'll do this for another few minutes. Never owned a bottle Bleu de Chanel, but smelled the new exclusive and like it a lot. I haven't tried it yet, guys. Funny little situation. It's really not an excuse for having not tried it, but I had some representative from some marketing agency, which happens all the time, reach out to me saying, hey, representing the new Chanel release, we'd like to send you a bottle. And I said, sure. And that was like a month ago. And I've heard nothing, even after following up. It hasn't arrived. So I need to just go to a local store and try it. Maybe I'll do that. And I'm sure once I do, it'll show up. Because I'll probably end up buying it, as I always do. If I do that, I would film a video, because I always do that. Go to the store to try a new fragrance, make it kind of vlog style. So maybe I'll do that. I am curious to try it. I've heard some mixed things, but I'm curious about it. What's up, Troy? Ryan Epps, always good to see you. Kevin Mitchell, always good to see you. Pineapple Vintage or Creed Aventus. I choose Aventus. For me, Aventus is the best of its species, so to speak. Even though there are some decent inspirations, twists, heck, I guess even clones, Aventus still tops it all for me. Aventus is still king. Even in the modern age. 6 Carter Fragrance Hunter. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes, everyone hit the like button. If you are here and you see a like button on your page, my boy Jared, I was just like, I wonder if Jared's here. Bam, you show up. Appreciate you, man. The Bishop. Jared, hope you're doing well, my friend. Yes. As Jared is saying, drop your scent of the day in the chat. Jared, I'm sure you're like working a double shift or something, or working some kind of overtime, and you're still here. I don't know if that's the case, but I feel like you're just always working hard and you still make the effort to show up. You always have. So really appreciate that. Steve Rambo. Made my biggest purchase so far. Bought Blockade from Mind Games and Reflection 45. Well, Steve, what a purchase. I sure hope that you've tried both of those fragrances and that you enjoy them, so that your purchase will be worth it, because you'll be buying something you already know you like. But if you just jumped off the diving board into the deep end without having tried them before, then I hope you love them. I am a big fan of Reflection 45. Blockade I haven't tried yet, but I've heard good things about it. Heard good things about it. I like Aventus, but they tend to be inconsistent. Oh yeah, that's been the name of the game ever since Aventus came out in 2010. For whatever reason. The grind don't stop. I hear you, man. I hear you. Justin, I'm about to buy Silky Woods for an elegant event because I love woods. Would I rock it? To be honest, I prefer the Elixir Flanker over the original. That's just me. That's not to say you would feel the same way. I wouldn't call it a super woody fragrance, ironically enough. There's woodier fragrances than Silky Woods and that DNA. If you're really looking for a wood forward scent, I would sample Royal Oud from Creed. It's a little edgier, I would say, than Silky Woods, but it's definitely woodier and maybe even a little bit more distinctive. But you might not like it. That's why I would get a sample first if there's time for you to get that. But Silky Woods, it's good. I just again prefer the flanker. Okay. Oh, you meant the elixir. Yeah. Then yes, I would rock it. There you go. You're right on point as far as I go. You also just purchased Reflection 45, but you sampled it. Good. That's a great one for the upcoming cooler months, for those of you who do have cooler months coming. Okay. Yes, Jeffrey, we are getting closer and closer to Z3. We are getting eerily close to Z3. Look out for a pre-order coming very soon. In fact, we have a call with the team tomorrow. No, Wednesday. Wednesday, we have a call with the team to just get all caught up, get on the same page, make our final plans for what's coming next in the coming weeks. It's coming, guys. I'm so sick of sitting on it. I'm sick of like trying to not talk about it. Once we announce pre-sale, floodgates are open. You guys are going to get the information. But until then, just know that it is, I don't know, it's fire across the board. Not just Grace and I's, but the others are fantastic. So you guys just wait. Okay. We're past the 10-minute mark. Normally at this point, I get into some kind of substance. I am still going to be answering your questions as we go. So feel free to leave some questions that you guys really have. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk about some fragrances. I got a couple here that I have smelled that are brand new. And I got a couple here that I have not smelled that are also fairly new. One of them maybe not, but you probably haven't heard of it. The first one I'm going to talk about is one in the thumbnail. It's this one from YSL. They just released this as part of their, I think they call it Le Vestiaire, whatever they call this collection. You guys know what I'm talking about. This one's called Muse, and you'll see it says Inspiring Ink. And I'd heard some things about it. I just got an email saying, hey, we're sending this to you. And I said, okay. And then it arrived yesterday. I gave it a spray today. I filmed the first impressions video, which will be out sometime later. First of all, has anyone tried this one? Senor Siage says he's tried Muse. Yes. So I agree. That first spray, the ink note in here is like, dang, did they just put ink in this bottle? Very interesting. Very interesting. I got a spray on my hand. It's been here, I don't know, at least 4 hours now. And the opening is really interesting. Again, with that ink, it's kind of like I get this musky, powdery, earthy. It has like orris in there, almost this starchy, earthy, buttery feel. A little bit vanillic in its sweetness, but it kind of it's drawing a little bit generic on me. It smells like some trends that are happening right now. This kind of warm, sweet, amber woody base is coming through here. So it started off great, and the dry down is just like, it's okay. And also, funnily enough, I was at a cafe earlier today editing a video with this on my hand. I was wearing something else. In fact, my scent of the day, it's somewhere around here, H24 from Hermes. I was wearing that. Had been a while, the EDT, so I was loving that. But I had a spray on this on my hand, and it was kind of projecting pretty good. Just one spray. I was smelling it constantly, even though my hand was away from me. And there was this girl sitting, I don't know, a couple feet to my left, and I started to notice her plugging her nose, like, and she wasn't doing it before. She was doing it in different ways. She was on her computer, and she like had her shirt up to her nose like this, and then she kept doing this. And I'm like, H24 is not filling this space. It is staying pretty light. It's staying pretty transparent and pretty close to me. I think it was Muse that was kind of projecting, and she was not a fan. I never asked her or talked to her, and she never said anything, but she did not stop plugging her nose like pretty constantly for about 20 minutes until I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and leave. I'm going to stop torturing this poor girl and get out of here. So, and then I actually had Grace smell it on my hand right before I went to that cafe, and she thought it was just okay. She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I don't know if this is a winner. I like the opening, but that's about all I like about it. After that, they kind of go into this easy, predictable direction. I saw a funny comment. Karen says Muse smelled like drywall to me. I can kind of see that. I do kind of see that. That is hilarious. But yeah, what do you guys think? Zenora, good to see you. Yes, I have tried Joe Malone Murray Tonka. In fact, we were just talking about that fragrance a few minutes ago. Someone said they were wearing it. I haven't smelled it in a while. I had a decan of it years back, and it's one of the few from the brand I really like and would consider getting. I just haven't got it. But now I need to revisit it. I've had two of you guys bring it up. So good to see Zenora. Thanks for chiming in. Hope you're doing well. Sunset Oud. Amarud. I have that somewhere. I haven't smelled it in a while, but I do remember liking it. It also, I think it reminded me of another fragrance from Amarud. So there's a little bit of redundancy there, but it was good from what I remember. Let's see here. Sucks when you get a nose plugger, but even the best scents aren't loved by everyone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a little unfortunate. Yep, I agree. It is underwhelming. It's underwhelming. Have I tried Blue Talisman? Blue Talisman has got to be one of the most hyped fragrances of the last year or so, and I never tried it. I know they just came out with a flanker. Haven't tried that either. One day I'll try it. I don't know if I'll go out of my way to check it out, but I've seen so many people talking about Blue Talisman. I know there's already clones of it and stuff, so it obviously made some waves in the market, in the community. But are my books arranged by spine color? Yes, that is a product of my wife, Grace. She loves that. So that's what is happening here. They are arranged by color, and I'm cool with that. It's all good. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got. Tammy, good to see you. Chloe Cedris Intense. Cedris Intense. I don't know that one from Chloe. I do hear that as well. Maybe a higher sensitivity. But I was like, I had to control my internal narratives. I'm like, she could just be hanging out like this. I don't know. Maybe it's just what she does. But even if she didn't like it, like, what am I going to do? I'm here in the space. We're sharing space. Welcome to the outside world. You're going to run into stuff you don't truly love. And it wasn't anything absurd. I hadn't sprayed 15 times of anything on me. So yeah, it couldn't have been that bad, but I guess it was bad enough for her to be plugging her nose. And she could have, got up and left if it was that bad. Let's see. Ryan says, do not go out of your way for Blue Talisman. Do you guys agree with that? Does anyone in here really stand behind Blue Talisman? Are you guys a big fan? Ryan is not a big fan. Or maybe you just don't think it's special. Maybe it's good, but it's not special. So yeah, I'm not going to go out of my way for Blue Talisman. But I will try it at some point in like 2054, maybe, if it's still around. Kevin, is YouTube my full-time job? Yes, YouTube is currently my full-time job, so to speak. That is where a majority of my time each week is going. And it does add up to what you could call full-time hours. It's a lot of work on the back end. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm grateful for it. It was not the plan when I started this channel. In fact, in a week, I think a week from today, this is actually kind of special. A week from today marks 9 years from the day I published my first fragrance video. So that's pretty cool. Next Monday, in fact, the funny thing is, next Monday, I'm going to have to reschedule our live stream. We might have to do it a different night that week. That's a bummer. Otherwise, it'd be a great night to celebrate 9 years, but we'll celebrate nonetheless. So that's pretty wild. Jared said, finally tried that mind games with the popcorn note you spoke of. Very interesting and unique. Yeah, he's talking about Garde. Garde is very interesting, very different. Almost smells a little bit too odd, where it's like, should I wear this or do I just smell it? It's weird, but I don't know. I can't stop smelling it. It's kind of a little bit addictive in a way. And Grace really likes it. She always asks about it. She's like, oh, are you going to wear that Garde? I'm like, I guess I should. You keep asking me about it. I think it made a big impact on her too, because it's so unique. Kevin, just want to say thanks. Been following for several years. I always forget how. Appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you very much. Thank you for rocking with the content. Zenora says Blue Talisman is overrated for the price. That is what I hear. That is what I hear. That is what is keeping me from diving head first into some Blue Talisman. But if I happen to be out and about and it's there, I'll try it. It just hasn't happened yet. Is there a fragrance note that you just don't vibe with? Cherry just comes off cough syrupy, no matter the fragrance composition. Yeah, I totally respect that. I think I have yet to try a tuberose forward fragrance that I feel comfortable wearing. Tuberose is just not, I like it in and of itself. Like a fragrance I that comes to mind, it's from Frederick Mall. I think it's Carnal Flower. And I feel like that's a pretty tuberose heavy fragrance. I'm just looking it up here on my phone. Well, it's several white florals in there. Tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom. I get a lot of the tuberose on my skin. I tried this years ago and I didn't dislike it. I just couldn't see myself wearing it. It smelled like I was in a greenhouse, like a damp, hot, humid greenhouse filled with white flowers. Just like kind of too thick. It's like I can't breathe in here. Not unpleasant, just not wearable for me. Hey, Justin, as someone fearing the first step into content creation for fragrances, what are some tips and how to start? I'm ordering a small, affordable microphone to at least start, but wanted tips. Great question, Steve. When it comes to any new endeavor that any of us might be considering, whether it's starting a YouTube channel, maybe you want to get a new job, maybe, I don't know, any change that you want to introduce into your life. I've had to learn that the one thing you cannot wait for is to feel confident to then do it. You cannot wait for fear to go away. It sounds weird. It sounds kind of backwards, but hear me out. You only get confidence by doing, by actually having courage, which means you are going headfirst at your fear. Even though you're afraid, you move anyway. And when you move, that's when you learn. That's when you grow. If you stay put, you don't go anywhere. You don't grow. You'll never get confidence and you'll never get less scared. So there's not any one thing I would say you need this in order to get started making videos. All you need to do is start. You need to turn on the camera. You need to choose a fragrance or two that you really enjoy. Yeah, I'd say get a microphone. That's cool. If you don't get one, your phone probably has just a fine microphone, and just start talking and upload it. And there's no way you can really do it wrong. You'll just get better as you keep doing it. So can't wait for confidence. It will never come if you wait for it. It's waiting for you. I think that's how it works. So that's a lesson I had to learn in multiple ways. Hope that's helpful. What is the most off-putting or worst fragrance you've smelled? Man, honestly, my answer is a little cliche, at least in kind of an idiomatic way. The most off-putting fragrance I have smelled was actually Secretions Magnifique from what we call Eldo at Tot Libre d'Orange. Yeah, there's lots of infamy surrounding that fragrance. Lots of people saying, "Oh my gosh, it smells like these things." I'm not going to go into all that. You guys know what it smells like or what it's supposed to smell like. And then you see people smelling, they're like, "It's not as bad as people think." For me, it was worse than what I was expecting. Not at first spray, but the dry down, it just turned into a wet dog to my nose, and it was nasty. It was just straight up nasty. I don't think I've smelled another fragrance that was just straight up nasty smelling to me. Even like the most edgiest oud was just like, cool, that's oud. That's rich. That's potent stuff. I'm not going to wear it, but it's not nasty to me. But Secretions Magnifique, nah, no thanks. I want to know, is anyone a fan of it? I've seen people say it's not that bad, but I haven't seen anyone say, I like this stuff. In fact, I do actually wear it from time to time. Is there anyone, any of the 82 people here right now that has Secretions Magnifique and wears it from time to time? I want to know. Let us know in the comments. Anyway, how about we talk about another fragrance real quick? I love the questions. Keep the questions coming. Steve, I'm so glad that was helpful. I hope that it can be applied in a way that proves helpful. Let's do a fragrance that I haven't smelled yet. How about that? This is a fragrance, I think it's tagged in the video. I tagged it before we started. I don't know much about it. This is from an Italian house called Profumi di Polignano. Polignano? Something like that. My Italian is non-existent. They call it Senza tempo, which means without tempo or without time. Tempo is a musical term that I use all the time, so I never translate it in my head. It just means, oh, it's the tempo, but it does mean time. I've heard that it's kind of fougere-ish. Max Aroma hit me up a couple months ago and like, hey, pick a fragrance from this list. I chose this one. It arrived, and then I read a bunch of reviews on it, and people were just hating on it. So I think I hesitated to actually smell it. I really should have looked it up before I selected it. I'm getting an interesting smell from the box already. Let's see what this is all about here. I'm a little hesitant. I want to like this. This is a total mystery. I'm sure a few of you guys have even maybe heard of this brand. Cool packaging. Very simple. So here's our fragrance, Senza Tempo. I am going to put this, I might regret this later if this is not good and my wife doesn't like it. I'm going to put it on my arm here. Whoa. Snug cap. It is halfway metal. I always appreciate that. It smells interesting from the atomizer. Let's see. Okay, hefty spray. Interesting. Okay, right off the bat, I'm actually reminded of Papile Fico. Yeah, I'm getting this like kind of clean fougere-ish feeling, like almost barbershop soapy clean kind of. But there's this like tree resin sweetness behind it, like this warm, sweet balsamic woodiness. Not bad. Okay. I was expecting it to maybe have a harshness to it or something chemically or synthetic. It's pretty smooth. No, it's very smooth. Almost feels a little boozy. I don't think there's booze in here. This is not exactly what I was expecting, but I will say that it's a little better than I was expecting. I'm going to look up the notes here. Senza tempo. I like it. I like the vibe I'm getting in the air. Yeah, as you guys can see, the ratings are not very favorable here. A lot of people are saying it's good, but few are saying it's great. It's been out since 2018. Absinthe. That's the booziness. These are the notes. Lavender, absinthe, kumu. So we got some spices with the clean lavender. We got that kind of spirity booziness, tobacco leather, kind of a typical woodsy, musky, sweet base. Benzoin, I think, is the resinous feel I was getting. I like it. I do like this. I'm trying to see. No one's compared it to Popular Fico. People have compared it to B612 from Nishane. I would say it's more like Popular Fico to me, but then again, there's only 23 votes. There's not a whole lot of traffic on this fragrance. Has anyone heard of this or tried it? Anyway, just wanted to try something new. We got another one we'll try in a little bit. But for now, I want to keep answering your questions. You guys are coming with some good ones, and I am enjoying the conversation. Let's see here. All right. Secretions Magnifique is perfect for trying to blend in with a dead animal scent. That's harsh, but kind of true. Wow. Someone with a music degree, your trumpet intros piqued my interest to your channel a few years back. Frank, I appreciate that. I have considered bringing them back in some form. I just haven't really committed to it. I never think of it ahead of time. So when I finally do plan it, it will happen. That sounds silly, but that's what it's going to take. Is there a big difference between B612 and Popular Fico? I think so. If you're asking me, yes. B612 is more like musky, clean lavender, woody. But the muskiness is very particular. It's almost like dry, like clothing, almost like a cashmere or wool or something. And I think there's maybe some cypress in there as well. Dry, woody, kind of sweet, creamy, fresh, soapy. Not soapy, but clean, I would say. Popular Fico is, again, more resinous, a little sweeter, spicier. No real spices in B612. And still kind of clean, but there's like an oak moss. So there's this more masculine mossiness. I would say B612 smells a little bit more modern. Popular Fico has a touch of this vintage flair to it, but not old-fashioned in any way. So I hope that makes sense, but TLDR, is that what it is? Yes, TLDR is they're different. Hope that's helpful. Boss 71, good to see you. Kajal Icon. I Can is what it's called. Sorry, I Can. I have that one. It's good. It grew on me. I wasn't a fan at first. It kind of came off a little sickly, synthetic, fruity, but on the skin, it dries really beautifully and kind of intoxicating. Really nice. How close is Carlisle and Triumph of Bacchus? They're definitely related. They're similar, but they have some distinct differences. I would say Triumph of Bacchus has a little bit more dimensionality. There's like more things happening and working together. Carlisle is a little bit simpler, but still very definitive. Carlisle is more earthy, a little bit more edgy with its woodiness, something almost borderline animalic about it to my nose, but there's still kind of this sweet, warm, spicy richness. Whereas Triumph of Bacchus, definitely smoother. There's this boozy element from rum. There's a lot of fruitiness. So there's this kind of rich, mouth-watering, juicy, fruity, boozy quality on top of this warm, sweet, earthy tobacco. So it's just like more in the container for Triumph of Bacchus, but Carlisle again is still pretty definitive. Hey yo, I love the smell of absinthe. Can you give us any updates on Senza Temple? Yeah, happy to. No, that's odd. What is going on? Yeah, guys, I gotta say, something in here is getting kind of funky, kind of weird. I sprayed it here, right? Or did I spray it here? No, I sprayed it here. That is weird. It kind of turned like it smells like cardboard. Some kind of like dirty cardboard, like cardboard that people have been walking all on top of with dirty shoes. With a little bit of what was there before. There's cumin in here. And it's not highly voted, but I wonder if that's what's coming out. I don't typically hate cumin. I'll get back to you guys on this. I don't know if this is some kind of weird middle stage that smells totally different from what it did at first. I sure hope I don't regret putting this on my skin when Grace comes back. So yeah, Ayo, I will continue to report back on that. It's so weird. I don't know what happened there. Maybe that's why it's not so highly voted. Steve, outside of fragrance and music, what other interests and hobbies do I have? Yeah, my wife and I, we love spending the time together. We have a son, so we love spending time with him, which we've done quite a bit, especially this summer. We've taken him outside a bit, done some hiking. Um, every now and then, I love to sit down and watch a good show or movie. Honestly, I don't watch a lot of TV. We might watch something once a week, maybe on Fridays. Um, we like to stay productive throughout the week. We have other things we're working on outside of just our regular jobs. So yeah, hobbies, they're here and there, but nothing crazy. I'm not spending a lot of time doing a lot of like leisurely activities, so to speak. That might sound weird, but that's just what my life looks like right now. And I'm loving it. Have I tried? I haven't tried anything from the House of Bo. They actually reached out to me recently, and I might be working with them at some point, but we'll see. Okay, let's see. What do I think is behind the huge jump in fragrance prices over the last couple years? I haven't done the research. I've heard a few things here and there. I've surmised a few things here and there. I mean, the cost of everything has gone up. Inflation is real. And I mean, as you know, even with groceries, the supply of things is going up in terms of the price, the cost of things. So we take that hit, of course. As it pertains to perfumery, I've heard things about like sourcing ingredients has become a little bit impacted for one reason or another. So that's caused the price to go up as far as what brands are having to charge for their fragrances. Beyond that, the only explanation I have is everything is getting more expensive, including fragrances. So I think that's just what it is. Let's see. When I started doing YouTube, did my family and friends try to talk me out of it and keep me at a real job? No. No. I mean, when I started YouTube, I didn't go at it as a real job to begin with. It was purely a hobby. It was something I did very part-time. And the fragrance space was a different place at that time. There was really no way to truly monetize this or make a business out of it because the space was so small. So I was still primarily doing music as my main thing and was just growing my YouTube channel alongside that. And at a certain point during COVID, it kind of ramped up. I put more time into it. The viewership grew and it just became more viable. So it was a slow and steady up and down journey. And yeah, I mean, my friends and family, all they care about is that I'm okay and that I'm making an income, which I am. And Yeah, so no one is really concerned. And a real job, that's just not for me. I am not a great employee. I'll just say that. Not because I'm hard to work with or anything, but I just prefer to do my own thing. I prefer to have more autonomy. I prefer to be my own boss. And it's something I've definitely grown into. I don't know if I always felt confident about that with myself, but today I do. I don't want to I don't want to build someone else's dream, so to speak, if that makes sense. I could go on and on about that, but that's all I'll say. Box of blueberries is $6 here in Georgia. Yeah, there you go. That's an example. CG91 recently got into Initio Narcotic Delight, and I'm obsessed with it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that one. I've tried like 3 fragrances from Initio. Um, and none of them I would say really moved me enough to like continue to explore the brand. So I know they're super popular. I'll have to try some of the newer ones coming out if they're really good. But they're just not a brand that's high on my radar right now. Hello, Omar. A request. Can I review or mention fragrances, niche preferably, that are perfect for office or work, especially in high level business? I mean, Niche ne Popule Fico is easily a recommendation I would make for that. I would say Amouage Beach Hut Man, great for that as well. I would say, like Raja Parfum Apex, great for that. The list can go on and on, but I hope that even those 3 fragrances can be good recommendations for you. I'm surprised I haven't done any reviews on Insar Oud, Bortnikov, or Rouge L'Adore. I have done at least one video on Rouge L'Adore. I haven't tried Bortnikov, but I do have some fragrances from their sister brand known as Maxim, who it's owned by the son of, what's his name? The Bortnikov guy. I forget his first name now. And I've talked about that brand a bit. Insar Oud, I feel like I've tried something from them, but I can't remember. So I have more or less talked about those fragrances. Apex is another woody. Yeah, Apex is worth sampling for sure. It's one of the best that they've put out in the last handful of years. Let's see. Oh, it's you, Omar. All true, especially the lies. Okay, yeah, good to see you. I didn't know that was you. Greetings. Thoughts on Isola Blue and top 5 Raja. I recently did a video ranking all of my Raja fragrances. I have a lot of them. And if you want to know my top 5, watch that video. You'll see my top 5. But my thoughts on Isola Blue. Real briefly, if you guys don't know Isola Blue, it is a remarketed, re-released version of Oligarch, which is still one of my absolute favorites from the house. They had to pull it. They remarketed it. They brought it back as Isola Blue. And in my experience, it's not exactly the same. It's not exactly what Oligarch was, which is kind of a shame. It is. It's the same idea. It's the same feeling. But for some reason, the vibe is just different. There's something missing or something tweaked about it. I can't really place it. All that to say, I used to have 2 bottles of Isola Blue. I've actually gifted both of them away because I also have 2 bottles of Oligarch. So I'm fine with those. But all that to say, because you can't really get Oligarch anymore, I would recommend trying Isola Blue if you're interested in that DNA. It is a fine replacement. Just don't blind buy a bottle because it's very expensive. Paragon. Okay. Yeah, I haven't tried that one. What house is moving me the most these days? House. It's hard to say. I can't say I've been gravitating towards a particular house as of late. Sometimes when I get this question, it's hard for me to answer because I'm like, what have I been really experiencing? Because I'm experiencing so many new fragrances all the time. So I'll go on my Parfumo app and I'll look at what I've recently worn. This is what I've been wearing the last, I don't know, couple weeks. I don't know how far back it goes, but a couple fragrances that have really been enjoyable for me. Mephisto Gentle Uomo. I've worn it twice actually in the past week, 2 different days. It was just that good. I was loving it. What else has been very good that I really liked? Notte del Chianti. Notte del Chianti. This one's called Respiro d'Amore, and it's a great brand, a great Italian brand from the Chianti region in Tuscany, and real authentic Italian perfumery. They got some unique touches to what they do with their fragrances. Anything else? Lumari, I've actually been really enjoying. That's the last one I'll say. Lumari, their new fragrance called Aomak, however you say it, is fantastic. But I would say Porthole is still one of my favorites, and I love Saja. I'm going to be wearing that coming up here in the fall and winter. It's a great rose oud with like chocolate, and it's just decadent, but so elegant and just so high quality. Great question. Thanks for asking. Amouage Timber worth the price point or wait for discounters? That is a question that no one else can answer but you. If you're asking me, if I tried Timber before I got a bottle of it. And the funny thing is, from trying my decant, I would not have bought a bottle, but I like the bottle more than I like the decant. I think the bottle just, you get the fragrance in a higher quantity, and it just really smells like more of itself. It just kind of comes to life more. So if I had smelled the bottle first, I might say, yeah, I would buy it. But man, I can't tell you what's worth it. I can't tell you what's worth your money. You have to decide that, because that's quite an investment. So sample first. I wouldn't even think about waiting to buy a bottle if you haven't tried it. That's all I'll say. I'm going to stop my tongue from moving because I could keep going. Jeremy, thanks for being here on the live stream. What an avatar. That is spectacular. Thank you for watching the videos. I'm happy it's been helpful. So happy to hear that. Appreciate you. I have not tried Givenchy Inflamme. That sounds like a deep cut. I haven't tried that one. I haven't even heard of it. I have to try that. Brooklyn is saying new tuxedo is great. I'd like to try that. Any really old fragrances that I've wanted to try for a long time but haven't yet? That's a good question. I assume you mean like vintage fragrances. Yes, definitely. What's it called? Pour un homme de Caron. That one, I've been wanting to try that for a long time now, and I've almost got it several times. Yes, came out in 1934. That's definitely old. Pour un homme de Caron. This is a classic, and they've come out with some flankers just as of recently, so they're still kind of milking this cash cow. But Caron is a brand I definitely respect. So that's one that I wanted to try for some time. Have any of you guys tried that one? It's not, it's not anything unknown, but not really being talked about in the mainstream media for fragrance. Great question. Let's see. Will I still wear Tabac 28? Absolutely. That is still one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. If you guys don't know Tabac 28, that is from Le Labo. It's one of their city exclusives for the city of Miami. And I believe, is it this month, September, where they're all available everywhere? Yeah, I think they're currently available everywhere. And after this month is over, you have to go to the city that they're tied to get them. So you'd have to go to Miami to get Tabac 28. All that being said, I wouldn't run out and go crazy or go online and buy it right now, because the city exclusives are so expensive. It's like, I think $400 for like 50 milliliters. I don't remember what it is. It's absurd. Grace actually got it for me for my birthday years ago when we started dating. So I will always have that bottle. I'm going to hold on to that as long as I can. It's great. Excuse me. Let me read this real quick. I just got sampled Bois de Portugal. Something else I would recommend close to that type. I see this question often, and it's always peculiar to me. I'm so glad that you tried Bois de Portugal and you love it, but I guess I'm confused why you're looking for something else that's not Bois de Portugal. And I assume it's something to do with price. But the way I see it, if you love the way it smells, then it's worth saving for because you know you love it. And something else is not going to be that. So, unless I'm wrong, let me know if there's another reason why you're asking. But if that is the reason, I would just say save up for it because you know you love it, which means you know you're going to wear it if you do get a bottle. But please follow up in the comments and let me know if I'm off in my presumption there. Gerard George, good to see you, brother. If you guys aren't subscribed to Gerard, please go subscribe. Glad to see you, man. Thanks for being here. I want to come back to this fragrance, Senza Tempo. I want to see what this has become on my arm. It's been, I don't know, at least 15, 20 minutes. I don't get this fragrance. It's kind of disappeared. Like, poof. It's there still. What an odd scent experience. It's definitely not as like stinky as it was earlier, but I think that's just because it's not as present. I'm not really smelling it. I'm not going to be wearing that anytime soon. That one I might give away to someone. That's a bummer. I was hoping that it would be better than the reviews, but the reviews are the reviews for a reason. Jimmy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I always love those glasses you got. Those white frames are so distinctive. What is my favorite from the different versions of Kenzo? Kenzo is definitely unique for a designer. My current favorite is still the Eau de Parfum, but I haven't tried them all. I also have the Kenzo Homme Marine. That one is also interesting for being like a fruity floral aquatic for men, but I still prefer the EDP. EDP is still great, but it's not a guaranteed love. You might not love it. It is a little unique, but it's good. Queens, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. I haven't tried Drake's fragrance Summer Mink. I've heard some good things about it. At least I think so. I'm curious. That little ad that pops up on Instagram every now and then is funny. It's like legitimately funny. It makes me laugh. I like it. Manuel, how are you liking going on TikTok? Major differences, likes, dislikes. Great question. Yes, I am on TikTok, guys, very begrudgingly. I kind of use TikTok as a dumping ground for everything I put on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. I just copy and paste it there. And beyond that, I don't spend time on TikTok. I don't know what's hot on TikTok. I don't scroll through to see what people are posting. I do follow some people that I want to support and who support me. But beyond that, it's strange. I post there, but I don't know what's going on there. I try to stay away from it. I'm not a fan of, just modern social media as it is. I'd say scrolling culture, so to speak. I'm just not a fan. I try to keep away from it. I think it can be a waste of time. I think it can be toxicity for the brain. You never feel great when you're done scrolling. So I stay away from it. But I do post there because it helps us to cast the net a little wider to get people to come to my YouTube channel, hopefully. David says he has a sample of that cologne, lavender, vanilla, heavy, old school vibe, not for me. I kind of get the feeling that I might have a similar experience with it. I'm just really curious. It sounds beautiful. I always wonder if it's like along the lines of a more vintage, like Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male, but I don't know. I haven't tried it. Okay. Yeah. Different world for sure. I know there's a lot of young people on TikTok in the fragrance world kind of blowing up, talking about dupes and things like that. And I try to steer clear. What's the best beef jerky flavor? King, by the way, whatever. You can't go wrong with any of them. I don't know. I don't eat beef jerky all that much. What's up, Jay? Opinion on the tars like Bortnikov, high quality. I haven't tried any of Bortnikov's tars. I have tried a few Atars from some reputable brands. Atars are just not my favorite as far as wearing them. I just prefer spraying a fragrance. It's weird. I just prefer that. I don't like oils. I don't like dabbing or rolling. I just prefer to spray. It's cathartic for me. I just prefer that. So that's me. I know I'm missing out on a whole world of great scents as a result, but it's just kind of the direction I've gone. Excuse me for all this throat clearing. In fact, let me drink some water. One sec. Daily. Okay, thanks for chiming back in. It's on my get list. Just learning more about the type of style, even if it's mature. Okay, so you just want to learn more about this style. Okay, so I do hope you get it though. Other great. Let's see. Fougères. Yes, I'm like, what fragrance are we talking about again? Other great fougères to check out. I mean, there's too many. Tom Ford Fougère d'Argent. If you can get Beau de Jour, I would check that out, but I know it's discontinued. Raja Parfum Scandal is great. I've done videos on fougères. Go on my channel, look up barbershop or aromatic fougère. And you will find videos talking about fragrances in the same genre as Bois de Portugal. And hopefully that'll be some useful information. Okay, we're going to use this as a little segue. Bought a fragrance, Commodity Milk Plus. I feel like I have it somewhere. I think I have Milk Plus. It's in a cupboard somewhere. So, and I haven't spent much time with it. I do remember liking it. I think I kind of just didn't try it for a while, and then I finally sprayed it. And I was like, actually, this is kind of nice. I think it's maybe a little feminine for me from what I remember. But what we're going to do now is we're going to smell a fragrance from Commodity. They sent me this big old package. I didn't know this was coming. Weeks ago, it arrived. I'm just now opening it. And this is called Milk Orchid, I believe. Have you guys heard of this? I know it was off my head. I know it was all the rage when it came out. And that's kind of the reason why I didn't talk about it, because everyone was talking about it. Does anyone know what this is? It looks like one of those, a lifesaver candy, but just huge. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't love this industrial style that they've taken with their editions collection, where it's all disassembled. I have a couple of these that they've sent over. I have Wool. Wool is one that I like. I don't love it, but I like it because it's kind of nostalgic for me. It was a fragrance I reviewed on this channel years ago because I really liked it back then. They discontinued it, then they brought it back for a limited time. They sent it to me, and it was just great to revisit for old time's sake. So this is, I'm seeing Karen is saying perfumerism. I had never heard of perfumerism, but she's a big deal. She's all over the marketing. And well, first of all, here's the bottle. I'm going to put this together. I might struggle to do so, and hopefully I just don't like drop everything. But here's the bottle before you put the atomizer in. Interesting label. I do like the bottle design. It's cool, and again, it has this like industrial style to it. It just has a stopper for the atomizer stopper there. So I'm going to unscrew the cap. I just prefer to take a fragrance out and spray it, but this is just fine. So we're going to screw this in. I was wondering, like, does this like compromise the scent? The fact that you like let all this oxygen in there, but it's going to happen anyway when you spray it, I guess. So here it is in its final version. It's all put together. It also came with a little travel spray, so that's fun. I'm going to give this a spray. I know I'm not doing it right here, but I'm going to put it on a blotter. Am I going to do that? I'm going to put it on a blotter. Yeah, I don't feel like putting this on my skin because I have a feeling this is a little bit too feminine for me. I don't know that for sure. I'm going to find out first on why is this thing not coming off? There we go. I'm going to find out first on a blotter. This is my last blotter, like literally in this house. I need to get more of them. Okay, let's give this a spray. And then I'll talk about why I've kind of avoided this fragrance. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is really beautiful. It's definitely something I would like to smell on a woman. There's something milky about it for sure, as per the name. There's something kind of sweet, coconutty to my nose, almost. Definitely floral. It's kind of making me about to sneeze. I'm trying to not sneeze in front of you guys. I will have Grace try it, Karen, for sure. Yeah, this is definitely not something I would wear. I don't even need to put this on my skin. It smells nice. It doesn't smell any different from like other kind of milky, floral, sweet, feminine fragrances I've tried before. The notes are fig milk, coconut cream, almond blossom, vanilla orchid, warm cotton, magnolia, macadamia milk, and sandalwood. Yeah. So again, this fragrance showed up just out of nowhere. I got this massive box in the mail. I'm like, what is this? Open it up. I'm like, oh, it's that new commodity fragrance I heard about. And then literally, I feel like it was a couple days later, I go online and I just see everyone talking about it all at the same time. And I don't like those kinds of PR blasts. I used to do them kind of unknowingly before, or a brand or a store would reach out and say, hey, this new fragrance, we want to send it to you. And I'm like, oh, cool. And little did I know they send it to 45 other reviewers and they give us, hey, can you post on this day? Yeah, sure. And then we all post on that day and we all look like clowns singing and tap dancing for this one fragrance. And I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that anymore. So when this came in and I saw the wave of just like, oh my gosh, commodity, milk, orchid, whatever, I'm just like, I'm not gonna partake in this. I'm gonna hang back. They didn't even tell me it was coming, so there's no expectation. So yeah, it smells about the way I expected it to. It smells nice, but not for me. Not for me. But if you like it, then cool. That's all I'm gonna say. We got one more fragrance we'll get to before we end off here, and it's kind of a special one. I'm just putting this box back together. That's not going to happen right now. That's all right. All right, let's see. What did I miss in these comments? What did I miss in these comments? I do need to try Christian Provenzano's fragrance brand. I've heard good things about it. Have I tried Liquid Brune? I have not tried Liquid Brune. And if I'm not mistaken, that's a clone for Parfum de Marly Altair. Let me know if I'm wrong or right, or it's a clone of something. And I'm just not really interested in clones right now, and at least going out of my way to try them. I would rather just get the OG if I can. Since I'm talking about feminine leaning, what feminine scents do I enjoy wearing? I would say there's nothing right now that I would consider overtly feminine that I enjoy wearing. I think I've dabbled in some fragrances in the past, but like one that comes to mind that I consider more feminine than masculine would be Mancera Sicily. That's a nice scent. But I don't wear it all the time. It's a little too fruity floral for me, at least sometimes, but it's beautiful. I do like it. Otherwise, right now, I'm not really reaching for anything I consider feminine. Jared, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, you can send a super chat. It actually means a lot. Funny thing is that I don't even get all of the money. YouTube takes a portion naturally because they built the platform. But if you want to give a portion of the money that you give to support the channel, it does help. So I appreciate that, Jared. Any plans to review Versace Atelier. I have not heard about this line. What is that? I'm looking this up on Fragrantica right now. Oh, I've seen these bottles. I think I saw these pop up on Parfumo. I haven't. No, I don't know anything about them. Interesting. Yeah, these are the bottles, guys. Have you guys tried these? Looks like they're all unisex. Some look a little bit more feminine. Yeah, I mean, if I can get my hands, there's a bunch of them. Dang. Yeah, this line has been around for a minute. It looks like the first one came out in 2019. I've never tried them. I'll have to check them out. Thanks for asking. Let's see. Noah, thank you so much. Ultra Green, Wanderlust, Noir Anthracite. Man, I need to get my hands on that. I remember when it came out. That came out from Tom Ford, if you guys don't know. Noir Anthracite. I tried it at a Sephora. I wasn't ready for it. I think it was like 2017. Is that when it came out? 2017. I remember going into a Sephora and smelling this when it came out, and I was like, and I ran for the hills. I wish I could get this. It's discontinued now, and I know it's probably out there on resellers or eBay or something. I haven't looked in a while. I'm not gonna pay hundreds of dollars for it, but anyway, Onslaught is a little challenging for me, mainly because it's so strong. The scent is peculiar and interesting, but it's too powerful for me. It's kind of like overwhelming and gives me this weird like nasal drip. It's been a while since I tried it. I need to revisit it because I do like Marc Antoine Barrois as a brand, and so I want to revisit it and see if I can stomach it. Daily Living Capital, thank you so much for the super chat. Amouage Overture Woman. Overture Woman is fantastic. I have a decan of that thanks to my boy EQ, Equality Fragrances, and I need to dig it out. It's somewhere. It's perfectly unisex. It's great. And some like it even more than Overture Man, which I get because it's not anywhere near as animalic or edgy. It's more boozy from what I remember. So I need to revisit it. Have I tried Eros Najim? No. The last Eros I tried was Flame. That was the last new Eros I've tried. I didn't try any of the Eau de Parfum or Parfum version. I didn't try the yellow one, Energy. Is that what it's called? I haven't tried any of them. Just because I haven't gone out of my way. But one day I will. I heard Najim is kind of cool, maybe. I know they already came out with a clone or two of it. So if that's the case, it must be special in some way. Have I tried Yuzu Vetiver? I haven't tried that. I haven't even heard of that one. It's a bummer that it's discontinued. Oud Symphony. I like Oud Symphony. It's funny. I don't really consider it too feminine. I do like that one. I haven't worn it in a while. I need to break that one out. Have I tried Arabian Oud? No. I was trying to think if I have. No, I haven't tried anything from Arabian Oud. Overture Man. What a fragrance indeed. What a scent. That's, I think to this day, the most expensive fragrance I've bought. A friend of mine showed it to me years back. I loved it. And I'm like, I need to get this. And at the time, it wasn't available in North America. So I found this guy who was getting a bunch of bottles from Europe and selling them to the US. I paid over like $300 for my bottle of Overture Man. And I love it. I don't wear it that much because it's very particular. Nasal drip, yes. Kevin, I'm glad you have it. Lucky you. You and Noah are both just killing the game. I'm so glad you came around to it, Noah. I don't need is a strong word. I don't need Noir Anthracite. I would like to revisit it because I know I would like it. I know for sure. Because the same year, 2017, Gucci Guilty Absolute came out for men and women, but the men's version. Same year. I remember getting a decan of that one, And I was immediately drawn to it, but I was terrified by it. I was like, I like this, but I can't wear this. Do I like it? I like it. Can I wear it? I don't know. It was just questions in my head. I eventually got a bottle because I kept thinking about it for years after that. I heard it was discontinued. I got it. I do love that one. Grace hates it. At least it's been a couple years since she's tried it. I need to have her try it blindly. I'm going to put it on my arm one day and just have her smell it and see if she likes it or not. So then she won't know what it is. Anyway, a little tangent there. Let's see here. Any niche fragrances that smell like Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme? Not that I can speak of. I don't have a lot of experience with that one. I only tried it in stores years back. And I remember it was kind of like a clean lavender tobacco, real interesting, complex fragrance from a designer house. But I don't have enough experience with it to say this smells like that. I can kind of do it conceptually, but that's not going to serve you. Cam, thank you so much for the super chat. Truly, very generous. Thank you very much for that. Perez, did I miss X straight? Did brass or said Z3.0 talk? We haven't really talked about it in this stream, mainly because there's not anything new to report yet. All I'll say is, if you guys didn't know, we have been considering a brass and soul parfum flanker. It's not going to be exactly that. We're not going to call it that. And what we've had is a few different concentrations of it to play with, all the way up to like 27%. And we ended up deciding on one of 3 concentrations that will be the one. So again, that's all I'll say because that one's far off in the future. I'm not going to tell you any more about that. But for the new Z 3.0 coming, don't really have anything new to report. We're going to have a team Zoom call this week on Wednesday to finalize the pre-sale, which will be coming very soon. And you're gonna get the reveal. You're gonna see everything, and we'll be talking about it more. And it's gonna be very exciting. I see people asking me, have I tried Narcotic Delight? No, I have not tried Narcotic Delight. I've seen that comment several times. I don't know if it was from different people. Haven't tried it. Do I have a discontinued fragrance that I wish would come back? Plenty. Oh yeah. For your sake, not for my sake. Tom Ford has several. Tobacco Oud, bring it back. Plum Japonais, bring it back. What else? What else is discontinued? That's fantastic. I can't think of anything else right. Oh, Cartier, Declaration d'un Soir. Bring it back. Come on, Cartier. I know they had like a parfum flanker of that or some kind of other version of it that I never tried. And so I'd say bring that back too, because I didn't try it. I want to get some samples of Amouage. Could I give me my favorite versatile fragrance and my favorite wow from the house? I would say the most versatile Amouage that I have tried is probably Reflection Man. That doesn't mean you're going to like it a lot, but it's one that can fit a lot of occasions, even though it's the most hyped, most talked about one. And my favorite wow one, hard to choose. There's so many. Overture Man, Enclave, Beach Hut. Those are some wow ones for me. So I would get samples of all of them. I don't know. Let's see here. We're going to go just a little bit longer, guys. I don't have a ton more time, but this has been fantastic. I'm going to talk about one more fragrance here in a second. Let's see. What's a fragrance I tried recently where I had to scrub it off? I haven't tried any scrubbers recently. This fragrance that I just put on my skin like a half hour ago, Senza Tempo. Honestly, the way that this turned, I would consider it a scrubber, but the good news is that it kind of scrubbed itself. It's all but gone. It's like, I don't know if I'm smelling it or if I'm smelling what I remember it smelling like. It's very weird. I don't know why. It's like, I don't really feel like I'm getting it here, but I can still remember what it smells like in my nose. I don't know. But that one, I would have scrubbed it if it had stuck around. Is there anything else recently? No, nothing recently that I would have to scrub. I'm getting pretty particular about the fragrances I allow into the collection. I'm doing my research, making sure nothing sounds outside of my taste. Um, your nose is already blocking it. Yeah, my nose is protecting me. Jason, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Let's talk about one more fragrance. This is a brand new release. This is a very special edition fragrance. Um, it is very expensive. This is a fragrance I cannot say all of you guys need to go run out and try this or buy this. It is very expensive because it's special edition. If I'm not mistaken, I think they said they're only making 100 bottles of this. So the fact that I have one of them is pretty wild. I have number 11 of 100. And I just got the green light today to finally start talking about this fragrance. And I think it will officially be available for purchase on Thursday, the 25th this week. But it is, I think, officially okay for me to share about it. And it is from Electimus. And it's their 10th anniversary. So for their 10th anniversary, they have this fragrance they're calling MCX. And it's basically a flanker of their very popular Mercurial Cashmere, which I've never actually tried. But I guess it's one of their more seminal fragrances. A lot of people enjoy it. And this is the 10th anniversary version. They've kind of intensified it. It's like a richer flanker, so to speak. And I did a first impressions video on it that I filmed last week that I couldn't put out yet. So that'll come out probably on Thursday. I just noticed this design on the bottom. That's cool. And yeah, so I've smelled it. I've worn it at least on the hand. I like it. It's a little bit too feminine for me. Funnily enough, when I had it on my hand, I had Grace smell it, and she didn't think it was too feminine. She thought it actually smelled really good on me. So I think I was just kind of in my own head. I'm like, I don't think this smells great on me. But she disagreed. So I'm like, maybe I'll just follow her nose and actually wear it. To me, it smells like kind of cottony, floral, sweet, creamy, musky. I don't think it's on Fragrantica yet. And so I don't have all the notes up in front of me here. No, it's not on Fragrantica yet because it's so new. But they did actually send me a press release, which I'm going to look up right now. Give me 1 second, guys. I appreciate your patience. Okay. Here are the notes. So just so you can see what I'm looking at, guys. Sorry for the delay there. I'm looking at the notes here. They sent me this press release. The top notes are Madagascan pink pepper. As Mr. Smelly would say, my favorite variety of pink pepper, which is just very cheeky. We have cardamom. We have Italian bergamot. Heart notes of gray amber, also known as ambergris, I imagine. We have tuberose, violet, and iris. So a musky floral heart with base notes of oud, musk, tonka, vanilla, caramel, cashmere wood, and cedar. I will say that I like it more in the dry down than I like it at first spray. First spray feels like this kind of creamy, floral, sweet, musky, like, that makes no sense at all. But as it dries, it gets a little drier. And that's what I like about it. There's a more texture to it. So ultimately, I like it. Right now, I'm rating it an 8 out of 10 based on my limited experience. I'm going to give it some more wearing. But if for whatever reason you find yourself interested in checking it out, there's a link in the description of this video right now where you can sign up for some updates or maybe be the first to check it out when it's available. Again, link down below if you want to check that out. So they sent that to me. I've been sitting on it for a while. They're very, very clear about, like, do not talk about this fragrance until September 22nd. And so now it's September 22nd. So I'm talking about it. Let me know if you guys have plans to check that out. Cameron, have the clone houses tried to bribe me to pump some cheapies? That's a great question. Yes and no. I wouldn't say bribe. I know you can apply that word. It was like, well, if they're going to offer you money to do it, then it's a bribe. No, then all business is a bribe. No, not really. They were going to offer payment of some kind in order for me to expose their products. And that is just business. And because I don't agree with their practices, not to say, I'm not going to go into this now because I can talk about it for hours and I've talked about it in a lot of videos. But my current stance on clones is it happens. Cloning, copying is just kind of a part of it. There's no use fighting it because it's just the motion of the ocean at this point. There's no fighting the current. But it's the intention behind the practice. When you have a brand like, I don't have a good example of this, maybe Electimus, I'll go with them. Electimus, I think, has put out, I don't know, maybe 5 fragrances this year. Let me actually look. Some of you guys already know where I'm going with this, so I apologize if this is redundant. Electimus has put out 2 fragrances this year, this being the 3rd one. So 3 fragrances for 2025 thus far, whereas you have brands, I'm not going to name any of the names because I'm not taking particular shots, but you have brands putting out 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 fragrances in a year. And I'm just like, why? Well, it's obvious why, but I just don't get behind that. It's just, we're flooding the market. It's so inundated. It's overwhelming. It's insane. And it wasn't always like that. So the landscape has changed and I'm just not all about that. So I kind of stick to my lane. I stick to what aligns with my values as far as fragrances go and what aligns with my taste. And that's where I'm at. So I will stay in my lane and I will carve it with my whole heart. Hope that makes sense. I'm going to answer a few more questions before we call it a night. I like clones and have no issues with them. The issue also is most aren't good. That's what I hear. I hear that, maybe the opening is good, but the dry downs are kind of empty or downright unpleasant. I don't know. I love it. Bribe. No, all good, Cameron. You're good. I didn't mean to pick on you or anything like that. I understand where you're going with that. Would my opinion change if it was called Wet Dog in the Rain? If you're talking about Secretions Magnifique, yes, my opinion would change because that is a suitable name. Well, I take that back. I wouldn't say I'd like it more, but I would definitely accept it more if that was the name. That's funny. Tyler bought Whetstone. Whetstone is great. Well, definitely one of their more versatile options. Any other recommendations other than Lunar Vetiver and Oud de Jour, I assume you're talking about? Yes, there's some other good ones. I also enjoy, I have another black bottle. I have Oud de Jour. I have Sunset Oud. I think Sunset Oud is also quite good. White Hinoki is good. That's one of their classic ones that came out some years back. And I have like their exclusive line. They have these like special little bottles. I don't really love those as much as some of the others. One of them, I think they call it Golden Oud. That's probably my favorite of their like exclusive collection. Let me make sure that's what it's called. Yeah. It's kind of like this. I get this almost. Is this the same fragrance? I don't remember these being the notes. I feel like they changed these notes. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, it's this one. That one's pretty good, but it's more expensive. I would sample it first. Beyond that, I am way out of date on their newest stuff. I haven't tried any new fragrance from Amarud since 2020. So, excuse me, I am way behind on that. Way behind. I know they've come out with a lot of other good stuff. They've got some really cool looking bottles, like almost transparent looking, and that has my interest. I just haven't tried them. Okay, I think we're going to call it here. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to the live stream. Once again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, listening to me blab, watching me smell fragrances, like them, not like them so much, all the things. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate the super chats. And I just appreciate your viewership overall. If you've been watching my videos as of late, I appreciate you Always more to come because this is what we do. We're going to keep the ball rolling. Stay tuned for updates coming very soon in the next week or so on the new fragrances that are coming. And Senza Tempo is better than it was in the heart stages. It's not funky or cardboardy anymore. It's still very light, but it smells more like it did in the opening. I'm just confused by it. So maybe I'll spend some more time with it. I'll see what Grace thinks. Anyway, yeah, stay tuned for more videos. We will do another live stream next week, but it will likely not be on Monday. So I'll be in touch about the other day. Maybe it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday. I need to check that week and see what it's looking like because Grace and I, we have an event to attend on Monday night. So appreciate you all. Take good care and we'll talk soon.